Tushangikie Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda.
Daima.
Kenya nchi tunayoipenda.
Daima.
Kenya nchi tunayoipenda.
Daima. Well, a very, very warm welcome to the Goldmine show. We are absolutely excited to bring this particular show, and particularly today because it is your Patriotism edition. We have an amazing, amazing, amazing show. We keep reminding you that you are a goldmine and you must never quit on working the greatness inside of you. Want to invite you to follow us on the Goldmine show on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to the Goldmine show. Today's show is an amazing one, man. I stand with a legend himself. I stand with greatness, my brothers and sisters. It is an amazing, amazing honor just to bring this amazing legend. His voice has unified us. His very voice, my friend, brings the entire nation together. And especially as we came through the general election, it's been a great moment for us in Kenya. And I want to bring the great man whose songs have been timeless, whose compositions have inspired a nation and indeed brought us together. None other than the legend himself, Mwalimu Thomas Wasonga. Mwalimu, man, so good to see you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Asante sana, man.
Thank you, brother.
I'm so honored that you can allow us to interview you.
Welcome, Dennis.
Yeah?
Welcome.
I'm so very, very, very honored. Maybe, in fact, we should start with one of those songs. Sijui tuanze na gani? Tushangikie Kenya, taifa letu tukufu.
Any one of your choice.
I think that would be a great moment as a country. Tushangikie Kenya because it's our beautiful country.
Good, yes.
And you compose this song.
Yes.
Tuongoze hit kwanza, tufungue na hiyo muziki kidogo.
Tushangikie Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda.
Daima.
Kenya nchi tunayoipenda.
Daima.
Kenya nchi tunayoipenda.
Daima.
Wenzangu, Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Wenzangu, Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima.
Amazing, amazing. What inspired this particular song, Mwalimu?
The love for my country.
Right.
And also what we during that time,
right,
our neighbors were some of our neighbors were undergoing.
Right.
There were a lot of political problems.
Right.
Yes.
Tell us a bit more about that.
Yes.
Right.
So I was seeing refugees coming from all over West, some from Congo,
right,
from Somalia,
right,
and they come to our country. And I found that the problem is that it is peace. They are lacking peace. And some of our neighbors are even belonging to one community. We call them in Kenya tribe.
Right.
One tribe,
right,
one language.
Right.
And then you find them really fighting each other.
Right.
And this is now what I said, oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh, can this kumbe in Kenya?
Yeah.
We are a bit lucky.
Right.
But what should put us together?
Right.
Because we are also hearing political iterations where these people talk about something that can make people disagree amongst themselves.
Right.
But we find that we belong to the same country,
right,
same motherland.
Right.
And therefore, I wanted to pass this message through music.
Right.
And that's how I came up with Kenya Daima.
Right.
Tushangikie Kenya,
Kabisa.
nchi yangu.
Kabisa. Which year was this?
This one was in 1985.
1985.
Yes.
1985.
Yes.
You're already seeing political instability in other countries.
Yes.
And you felt the need to say we need to stand together.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And during that time, I had already started going around.
Yes.
With the late President Moi.
Right.
Composing songs.
Right.
And performing during state functions.
Right.
And also wherever he was visiting the countryside.
Right.
And now this is one of the latest hits.
Kabisa.
That it came by coincidence, but it became a hit up to now.
Right.
Yes.
And it has remained timeless. You can imagine since 1985. Now we are in 2022, and every time you lead, watu wanasimama and they just want to dance to this song.
Yes. It has become even a signature tune in our embassies all over.
Right.
And not even even to our people themselves. Like recently when we were at Bomas.
Right.
Somebody from Uganda just gave, I wanted that song of yours.
Yes.
There's a song, and he told me he's a Ugandan, he's not even a Kenyan.
Right.
And one time also when we were in Tanzania, 3 years ago during Jama Fest, there is a East African Community Festival that takes place after years. We were in Tanzania, and we started singing that song.
Right.
And the whole stadium joined us.
They all joined you.
They appreciated it, although it is talking about Kenya, but peace.
Yes.
Peace is peace everywhere.
Absolutely. And Kenya is also a member of the East African community. So if there is peace in Kenya, we spread it across the different countries.
Yes.
And now that you talked about Bomas Mwalimu, you know, when you are singing that song, irrespective of which political divide it was, I saw people rose up and they began to dance. And I wonder, what do you feel when you see moments like those? Because those are national moments.
Me, I don't feel anything great to me, but I appreciate the unity.
Right.
The love. When I see all people receiving it positively, all sides. Because at Bomas, it was composed. The congregation there was composed of both.
Right.
All the political parties were there.
Correct.
And until again, they even asked a question for another song, and I had to sing.
Right.
There. Yeah. So I think that is now my pride that we are united, and people feel that we should keep peace. Because the message in my songs is preaching peace. Yes.
You know, you just reminded us a short while ago that back then we saw refugees coming from other countries.
Yes.
Where there was no peace in their countries. And they were coming here. And sometimes we forget that it is easy to go down the cliff.
And that was my fear.
Right.
And that's even my fear up to now.
Right.
And especially when I hear some people say that ikiwa ni noma, then I really sympathize with them, because maybe somebody doesn't know what the word noma is. Because in noma, even you yourself who is saying noma, you will find no space, no place to say those nomas. Yes. Yes.
So we must keep being reminded.
Yes.
We must remind each other.
It is our obligation, the obligation of everybody in Kenya, with any talent that God gave you, please practice it.
Right.
And especially during periods like this when we have transitions.
Right.
Because this is they are our own children, they are our own father, they are our own brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Yes. So anybody that the country, the public, the citizens decide to say this is the one we want to lead us.
Right.
Let us accommodate the person and embrace the person, and we move forward.
Right.
Yes.
And we build our nation.
We build our nation. Yes.
And everyone bringing their very best.
Yes.
And doing all they can.
Yes.
But Mwalimu, I mean, you have been one inspiration, and once again I must say I'm very honored to meet you.
Thank you.
Because then you're a voice I grew up hearing.
Yes.
And your songs have reverberated across the country for very, very many years.
Thank you.
And you continue to look very strong, and it's a big blessing.
That's I think a blessing from God.
Yes.
Because my age mates are now walking with sticks. Yes. But me, they have. God has guided me, helped me.
Yes.
To be like this. I just thank God, and that is why when I am still required to contribute, I give it.
Kabisa.
Yes.
And what is the secret of looking this young? Because you still look very solid and strong.
First of all, I say it is God.
Yes.
That I decided maybe He wants me to continue contributing.
Right.
Yes. So another thing is you know, with young people, they involved in so many luxurious things.
Right.
Types of food
Yep.
that you eat.
Right.
Some of them are not very good for our health.
Right.
And also maybe those drinks,
Yes.
smoking things,
Right.
etc. Those are the things that can. Life is extravagancy in your life.
Right.
That one can also make you move faster
Right.
and finish faster.
And finish faster.
Yes.
Saa zingine tunatandika raha too much.
Yes,
Yeah?
that's true.
So watu wakate raha kidogo.
Unaenda unashika break kidogo.
Unatumia unashika breaks kidogo.
Yes.
Fantastic. Tell me, Mwalimu. I mean, let's talk a bit about Mwalimu. I mean, your journey a bit.
Yes.
Today we see who we see, but please walk us back to who is Mwalimu and what has your journey been like? Yep.
Mwalimu Wasonga is a humble old man,
Right.
but I came from a humble family.
Right.
Yes. My parents were not people with wealth.
Right.
They were peasants
Right.
in rural area.
Right.
My birthplace was in Nakuru.
Right.
My father was working in European farms
Right.
there.
Right.
But then my residence home is in Siaya County.
Right.
Siaya County.
Siaya County, the great county
Yes.
of Siaya. Right.
Yes.
Right.
So I was born almost 66, 7 now years ago.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And you still look very strong. You don't even look 67.
No,
at all.
no.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, yes.
Right.
So I was brought up. I did my primary education
Right.
in Siaya
Right.
at our own place.
So born in
the
Nakuru,
school.
then you did your primary in Siaya.
In Siaya.
Right.
And during that time, you know, the primaries were broken into two. There was lower primary and
Right.
upper primary,
Correct.
but they were being called primary and intermediate.
Right.
So you go
intermediate
from,
was the higher
from
primary.
standard 1. Yes, intermediate was the upper primary.
Right.
Yes. So standard 1 to 4, I
Right.
did in just a school next to my village, my house, my home.
Right.
Home place is called Bosie Primary School.
Right. In Siaya.
And Siaya.
Right.
And then I went to Sigomre Primary School, and then proceeded to high school in Mombasa,
Right.
and then went on to college in Mombasa. There I was with my elder brother,
Right.
and now did my secondary school there.
Right.
Then continued to technical school,
Right.
and then went to mechanical engineering.
Yes.
Finished, and then during that time employment was very easy.
But you know, this is where I find it interesting. Mwalimu is a musician, but did mechanical engineering. I'm trying to reconcile those
Yes.
two.
So we were doing attachment in industrial area, in big companies. There was a new company that was just built in Mombasa.
Yeah.
It was called Brolo. It is still there.
Right.
It is dealing with it produces parts of machines.
Right.
Yes. So we did attachments there, and immediately when we finished, we absorbed.
But
we absorbed
where
4 of
did
us.
this mechanical engineering in Mwalimu, the musician, come from?
Yeah, that was my area. Mwalimu came later. So, but after finishing,
Yeah.
they employed us.
Yeah.
I was employed there, and
Yeah.
I worked for only about 6 months.
Right.
But then one time I just found to be sick. I was just as if I was just escorting one of my friends in
Right.
the evening,
Right.
and then I just heard something, and I fall down.
Yeah.
When I fell down, I found that I was very ill, and I was admitted, and I was sick for 2 years, 2 solid years,
Right.
to the point of death. But they couldn't even trace what I was suffering from.
Right.
So later on, I was just feeling giddiness all the time, headache.
Yeah.
So the doctors advised that now you cannot do engineering work, because I was a late machine operator, and you know, those equipment, they are always moving, rotating.
Right.
He said this can be dangerous for you if you are not stable. You always feel you are rotating.
The dizziness continues.
Dizziness, yes.
But tell
So
me, Mwalimu, is it that you had a vision of becoming a mechanical engineer? That was your
Yes,
desire?
yes, yes,
What
that was-
inspired the mechanical bit in you?
Because I liked touching these machines, etc. And I was also I was just fond of making things, like creating. When I see some people making repairing a vehicle, or a bicycle. I liked that.
Right.
And that's what made me. And I also saw that it was marketable because during that time there were a few people who could do so. So that's why I went into that.
So you had really desired to become a mechanical engineer?
Kumbe God did not want that.
He had other plans.
Yes, that's why always we leave things to God.
Yes.
So I was advised by a doctor that to do another profession.
Do something different.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So teaching came in. It is God.
Yes.
It came by also by coincidence.
Right.
Yes. Because I was just somewhere, and then no, I was after being sick.
Yeah.
I was with the mission in a church. I was a youth leader. And,
right.
And then we were having a center
right.
for the youth, and during that time the parish priest called for Harambe, and
right.
I was the youth leader there.
Right.
So
you're also a church guy, even
mostly I was a church guy.
You are a church guy.
Yes, Tanji Kabisa was
Kabisa.
youth leader, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Serving and active in church,
yeah,
not just
no, yes, acting in church,
right.
everything.
Right.
And so that is when he told me, hey, Mwalimu, can you go and collect there was charity work
right.
from the provincial commissioner then, from the mayor,
right.
from the ward.
Right.
He sent me.
Yes.
And then I went, because those people knew me.
Yes.
As I came down,
yeah.
Uhuru Nakazi house
yeah.
in Mombasa.
Right.
I was from the PC's office in 8th floor.
Right.
Then when I reached, I think it was 6th floor, somewhere where the Ministry of Education was,
right.
I saw young people lining up.
Right.
And then I asked them, what are they?
What is happening
What's
here?
happening? And then
right.
they told me that they are picking forms
right.
for teacher training colleges.
Right.
Then I went away, but then again realized, said, let me see if I can also get a form here.
You try your luck.
By the way.
Just as a by the way.
Yes. Yeah.
By this time, the doctor has already told you stop doing this thing.
Yes.
So you're trying to figure out what to do next.
Yes, what to do next.
Then you see teacher forms there.
Yeah, then they told me, I went to
yes.
that clerical officer who was dishing out forms. Yeah. And I said, can you help me also with the form? He said, Hakuna form, you go. Then I went.
Zimekwisha?
Zimekwisha, then I went. But then when I walked up to there, then he said,
Amakuja.
He said, then he took the form and threw it to me. And then I picked it. Yes. But the conditions in the form were very difficult.
Right.
Because it was, you must be guaranteed by somebody to the level of a DC,
right.
a PC, a assistant police commissioner, or a bishop.
So you need a very senior person to guarantee you.
But I think God had arranged that.
Yes.
The people I have been picking money from the charity work are the same. It is the PC, the mayor.
In fact, you're in the building.
I just went back here. Now I just here. So I went with the form.
Right.
But I didn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
I just went and sent it
right.
to wherever it was and forgot about it.
Right.
Meanwhile, my parishioners, the church I was serving, there was a priest, Muzungu.
And this was very interesting because parish priest amekutuma kwa PC.
Yes.
So coincidentally, that's where you are.
Yes.
Then they're the same people they feel for you.
Yes. And then the PC, then I returned. I returned just that day.
Right.
And then I went and forgot about it.
Right.
So the priest, after it took long. It took almost 5 months before the reply.
Right.
Then one time, I was alone in the house. My brother had gone on leave.
Right.
Then a friend of my brother came with a letter, said that you have been called to join Teachers College.
Right.
And then I saw it. And then that evening, the priest came. The priest, the one who was the secretary to the Catholic Diocese of Mombasa,
right.
He was called Father Martin King.
Right.
He came with another sister, who is I think it was the priest. I think she's still she is now in Nairobi. She's called Mary Katrina.
Right.
Yes. They came and then they told me that we have good news for you.
Yep.
And I said, this is a different thing, which I didn't know. They said, you are our child. We had applied for you something.
Right.
Before you got sick.
Right.
To America. For some studies in public administration. And they and we have got sponsors,
Yes.
and we have been called. I didn't even know that college in America. And now we want to prepare, because we want you, when you go there, you'll be there for 2 years, and
Yes.
when you come back,
Yeah.
you will be the youth coordinator in the diocese.
Right.
We'll employ you in the diocese.
So they applied this while you were still doing the machine thing.
Yes.
And you didn't even know about
Yeah, I
it.
didn't know about it.
Right.
And now, here, there's also the teaching.
So it is between America
And here,
and the teaching.
yes, so they went. So I said, okay, I will share. Then the following day I went, but then, Father, there's also a letter like this. And he said, oh no, this one, you will choose anyway.
Yeah.
But this one is not helping you a lot, because even we know your background.
Yeah.
These sponsors
Yes.
have agreed that they will look after your family,
Completely.
take care of your family for all the years you will be there in America.
So they'll sponsor you
And
in America and take
look
care of your
after
family back at home.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So you will just advise us on what to do.
You make a decision.
Yes. I said, let me go. You know, I went.
an offer of a lifetime.
I went now to pray, because
Right.
I was a very prayerful person.
Right.
I prayed and prayed and prayed. Well, what do I do? And truly, because this one you will go and you're going to finish training,
Yeah.
and even the salary you will earn here is a peanut.
Right.
So the following day, when they came, have you made up your minds? And I went and I said, I prayed, and then when I woke up, I just found something was pushing me, teaching, mwalimu. Oh, so I told them, there's something, that an inspiration, there's something just ringing in my mind, mwalimu. Because they are religious people, then they said, okay, maybe that is where God wants you to serve, but maybe you will even serve the church better than in that. If that is what you have decided, it's okay. But now,
Yes.
can you help us to pick one of your young people to take this opportunity, so that we send that to America, so that we don't lose it?
Wow.
I also surprised them.
Yes.
You know, that's just God guidance.
Yes.
I went and thought, then I found that there was a catechist
Right.
in our parish who had family.
Right.
He was an elderly person with almost 6 children, and he was a bit drinking kidogo.
Right.
Yes.
Kapombe
So-
a bit.
So that's the person I proposed
You said,
to them.
send this man.
Send this man.
Right.
Hi. They were not amused. How? Why? And I told him, but you know, so and so, I don't want to say his name.
Yes.
So and so, me, I think the reason why
Yeah.
he's involving him, he's a good person, religious, etc., but sometimes he drinks just kutoa mawazo.
Right.
Because the family is too big, and,
And the pressure and the burden is-
income is small.
Right.
You know, they sent that person. And what they did, the sponsor built a whole unit for that person
Right.
with all his children.
Right.
And every month the family was being given money.
Right.
And he was given, that building had a 3-bedroom house.
Right.
And then the others for rental.
Right.
Yes.
They built for them.
For them. That's what was to be done to me.
That's what you walked away from.
Yes, but I didn't see it. Me, I just appreciated that. And he was very comfortable. He went to America, and
Yes.
the family was very comfortable.
Right.
And he was trained there and came back and took over that job. Me, I came back again, and we took up my job, very small, the teacher there, and continued.
But as you saw these things being done for these catechists, did you feel like you had made a mistake to walk away from that offer?
No, I was very happy. Even if we were friends, although the lady passed on some years ago, but we
Right.
are friends. These days we don't meet each other.
Right.
But I was very happy about it.
So you were happy for them,
But
genuinely.
still, God has pushed me.
Yes.
Because I could remember
Yeah.
there were some miracle things.
Right.
When the day now I was going to college, they came to pray for me, the priest, and even this person whom I proposed.
Right.
And then he said, me, I am seeing in his prayer,
Right.
I am seeing that Thomas, because
Yes.
during that time I was not yet a
You are
Mwalimu.
not yet Mwalimu.
Yeah.
Yes.
That Thomas,
Yes.
his name may be known all over Kenya in future. I didn't know about that, and I just took it casually like that.
Which year was this?
That was in 1970, It was 1975.
1975. They said your name will be known across the country.
Yes, he just said that.
Right.
I could remember that. No, I mean, I didn't know what he meant.
Right.
But it was I think he also just did it without knowing.
Right.
Yeah. But then, another strange thing, earlier, before that, when I was recovering,
Yes.
early in the morning I was going to church,
Right.
because the church was nearer.
Right.
And I was still living with my brother.
Right.
Yeah? Because I had not gone to college.
Right. This is your
But
elder brother.
my elder brother. When
Right.
I was the late,
Right.
let his soul rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yes. So when I was walking, that's now where the Mwalimu came from.
Right.
When I was walking,
Yep.
young children were running towards me.
Yep.
And then, Mwalimu, Abad. And I had never been a Mwalimu. Young children, they are holding my, in the estate.
Right.
In the estate, Mwalimu,
Right.
Mwalimu, Mwalimu. I had never been a Mwalimu.
They're just playing around
Then I
you,
said,
calling
"What
you
is-
Mwalimu."
Mwalimu, Mwalimu.
Right.
Wherever I go out, I
Yep.
said, and then now, later on, I get this form,
Right.
I apply,
Right.
the college calls me,
Right.
I leave the opportunity to America,
Right.
I go to teaching,
And you pursue
I finish,
teaching.
pursue teaching,
Right.
then posted to Siaya,
Back to
do
your
it a
country
bit,
again.
then again being posted to Mombasa,
Right.
and then I go.
Right.
Yes. So now from there,
Right.
after going to Mombasa,
Yep.
because I told you, I compose these songs
Right.
in Siaya, the first songs,
Yes.
first two songs.
Right.
And I didn't intend to compose patriotic songs,
Right.
because I was training church choir,
Right. So you are doing religious
the religious song.
Right.
Yeah, but then when this social services officer came already and told me that, can you also make music, patriotic music?
Yep.
Then I made Kenya yetu nchi nzuri, nchi yako nchi yangu, twaipenda daima. Yes.
Right.
So it was very interesting, but
So that was your first patriotic
first
song to
decision,
write?
yes, in 1978.
1978?
Yes.
Right.
So, but then I had,
By that time you have finished the college for teaching?
yes,
You already
I
done,
posted,
now
I posted
they even
in a
posted.
rural area.
Right, in
I was,
Siaya.
yes, I was posted there in 1977,
Right.
78.
Right.
Then 79, 78 is when the president, the first president,
Mzee Kenyatta.
passed on.
Right.
And Moi took over.
Right.
And then Moi was going around
Right.
the country,
Right.
and this is what made this social services person tell me that, can you also compose a song?
A patriotic,
Song. Then I
Right.
asked him, what's a patriotic song?
Yep.
A song about peace, about our country,
Right.
about unity,
Right.
about development, etc.
Right.
Then I composed that.
Right.
But unfortunately, the then president did not visit that area, so he did not hear it.
Right.
But I sang it in one of the national days
Right.
in the locality.
Right.
But I had already applied to go back to Mombasa,
Right.
to do my further studies,
Right.
because I didn't have a chance to continue,
Right.
in spite of being bright.
Right.
Yes. So I went to Mombasa.
Right.
I stayed in Mombasa
Yep.
from 1980, 81, 82.
Yep.
But then in 1983
Yep.
is when now we formed the Mombasa Teachers Choir.
Right.
And that's now when we sang to President Moi,
Right.
and he heard these songs.
So for the first time he had you in 1983?
Yes, and that is how many years from when the song was composed in 1980,
From
78,
all the way
that's
to
almost
83.
6 years.
Right.
Yes, he
Right.
didn't know. So it was not, nobody called me to compose that song.
Right.
It just came on its own, and also the president also heard it from there.
Right.
And then in Mombasa, after that performance,
Right.
then we were to celebrate 20 years of independence. I was still a teacher there.
From 63 to 83.
Yes.
Right.
And during that time,
Yep.
I was not even soloing.
Right.
And I was not even conducting.
Right.
Even when the president first heard about those songs,
Right.
somebody else, I was training the choir, but somebody else was, one of our teachers was conducting.
Right.
So, when he was impressed,
Right.
and they went back to Nairobi,
Right.
he came for a Mombasa show,
Right.
1983.
Right.
Yeah. Now we were to celebrate 20 years, Jamhuri Day 1983.
Right.
So it's when an officer from the office of the president,
Yep.
the late Boniface Muganga, came
Right.
and told us, Mombasa teachers,
Yep.
there is a teacher
Yep.
amongst you here
Yep.
who is creative, and we wanted if he can also compose a song. There are other composers for the Jamhuri Day to celebrate 20 years.
Yes.
So I was given that challenge, and that's when I came up with Tunasonga mbele watu wote. But initially it was miaka 20 imepita wa Jamhuri Kenya yetu. Heko jamhuri, heko jamhuri, heko jamhuri, Kenya yetu yaenda mbele, mikoa yaenda mbele, wilaya zaenda mbele, tarafa zaenda mbele, nchi yote yaenda mbele, heko jamhuri, etc. Yeah.
Fantastic song, right?
Yes. So I composed that.
Yes. So you did that for the 20 years
20 years, yes.
Right,
yes.
Right.
So we were called...
Back in 83.
83.
Right.
So we were called to Nairobi.
Right.
A whole mass choir of 2,000 children, a whole train hours, and 200 teachers. And
2,000 children, 200 teachers.
Yes, we came as the main choir, state choir.
Right.
But unfortunately, we don't know. We don't know what happened. You know, we never sang.
Oh no!
And we
After
were called
a lot
by
of
the
practice.
state. I think because of interest, maybe.
Right.
We don't know.
Right.
We don't know what happened during that time.
Right.
Because we came, and unfortunately, we were distributed very wrongly in various places that we could not even rehearse. Although we were ready, when you converge us, we just do what we had. Because some of us were at Bagate.
Right.
You call it multimedia university now,
yes.
Some of us were at Mango High School.
Right.
Others Nairobi, others Alliance, others at Lenana, and we were all over.
And this team had come all the way from Mombasa?
Yes, Mombasa, yes. Wow. So on that day is when Njau Stadium was newly built. It was now being officially opened.
Right.
So we were called upon at night, teachers choir to go and sing at night.
Right.
But the big choir and the teachers will do it the following day on the material day itself.
Right.
Of 12th December 1983.
Right.
So we came at Njau Stadium. Unfortunately, we did not again sing at night.
Oh, no.
We just overheard that, Your Excellencies, Your Imperial Highness, because we had all heads of state from Central and East Africa.
Right.
From Kaunda, the one of Ethiopia, Bokassa, Mobutu, Obote, Nyerere, Banda, etc. They were here. And Siadbari of Somalia. All of Numeri of Sudan. All of them are here. Yes. So we just said, Your Excellency, Your Highness, you have to, because of unavoidable circumstances, the next choir is not, the last choir will be there. Right. So the last choir came and it was singing our songs. I don't want to mention anyway. So
they are singing your song and you've not been given a chance to present your own song.
Although the originality you cannot compare, because it didn't come out originally. So the following day, now we are waiting for the main day. No vehicle came to pick us, and we were just rotting there in our hotel, in our institution.
In different places.
Yes.
Right.
We just saw those things in the TVs.
It must have crushed your heart a lot.
Yes.
Must have been very disappointing.
Until 2. So we called it a day. But our provincial commissioner then, Luka Galgalo, was not amused.
Right.
He ordered the choir to go back to Mombasa.
Right.
And we were that evening we had
took your train.
Took our train back to Mombasa.
Back to Mombasa.
So Kumbe the president was not amused, because he said, there's a choir in Mombasa, and I called, what happened?
Yeah. He took note.
Yeah, he took note. So when he came now for Jamhuri Day in Mombasa, he asked what happened with the choir.
Right.
But we don't know, because we could not reach him. We don't know what he was told.
He must have been told what he was told.
But now he said he wants to see the choir now.
Right.
So we started entertaining him.
Right.
And he was very happy about it.
Finally,
and that's now what caused me the following year, in 1984, to be transferred to Nairobi.
Right.
Yes, I was transferred to coordinate those things I was doing in Mombasa in a small way, now nationally.
In the office of the president now?
No. I was the Minister of Education. I was in the Minister of Education for almost 5 years.
As a teacher?
Before. No, now I'm yes, a music teacher, training choirs now during state program. You know, the former president was really moving.
Right.
Well, it was a full-time job.
He used to across the country.
Yeah, because you are in Turkana, you are in Mombasa, and I have to go ahead.
Right.
Yes, I have to go ahead and prepare choirs, large choirs.
Right.
2,000 watt. And that's
mass choirs.
And that's now what inspired my creativity. Because it was a challenge. It was not a joking thing.
Right.
Yes. Because otherwise you can be limited very fast.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So because every day I must create something.
Right.
And you know, he was having projects, and therefore there must be also a relevance. You can't just be singing Tawala Kenya every day.
Right.
People say that's enough.
Yes, we've had it enough.
Yes, Tawala Kenya was a signature tune for crowning the entertainment.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So, but every function, I was creating a song relevant to that function. If it is education, I talk about education.
And
if it is medical, I talk about medical.
Right.
If it is environment, when he was going to plant trees in Makuyu, in Muranga, although you know that place was very dry. These days I'm seeing it is full of trees.
It's a green place.
He was going there physically. He climbs up to the hills there and he plants trees. I must have a song like that. And that is when where the creativity came.
So you kept creating songs.
That's why I've created so many songs.
Right.
There are also conferences, international conferences. I also like Guile Guards and so on. And I have to create songs.
How many songs have you done?
Yeah, over 80 something, but well-known ones are few.
And there are many still.
There are about 20 which are well-known.
Right.
Yes, yes.
So then Ministry of Education posts you to Nairobi.